Hey, welcome back. So we're just gonna keep continuing here. Start at the next round. So we're gonna move the AA again, and it's a 1-1. So the anti-air is gonna stay in lane 1. Next, we do the reinforcements. So I really need to make a player aid that's just the calendar, because the problem is that I don't want to bump all the counters every time I move this, but it's moving to April. The railroads and the subs are still the active campaigns. Let's try to help you out here. A couple of things. First of all, you can see in April, it's the last month for 1 and 2. Eventually it's going to become 1 and 3 for the bombers. The Luftwaffe is going to get a Bf-109 school, and we're going to get actually, this gets removed. When it's in parentheses, it's getting removed from the game. So that's going to be removed from the game, and the P-38 we're going to lose. So we're all losing forces right now. So the Bf-109 school is this one. And so this goes back out of the game. And these two, they don't go get destroyed. They just get reallocated. So these two still don't have any, so they're just going to get one more each. And now I think everybody has 2 for the enemies. And then we're going to lose our P-38. So, oh, I forgot to move everything back. So we lose our P-38, so this goes away. And our B-24 is back as well. So like I said, we don't lose these squadrons, we keep them. All right, so after doing that, then we do our refit and manufacturing. For the refit, we had 1 fighter refit, which is fine, and then we get to refit 2 bombers, but there only was 1. And then we get to manufacture. So manufacture would be 1 fighter and 2 bombers, like so. All right, so we got a lot of fighter squadrons now. So our P-47s could maybe go up against some pretty decent stuff. Who knows? Technically, they've got 2 and 3 on those. And then the bombers are going to get an extra bump, which is nice. So I think now all 3 bombers have 3 squadrons. So that part's nice as well. Looking at our situation, the sub repaired itself yet again. One of the railroads repaired itself. And we have a railroad really deep back there that needs to do something. And we actually have a situation where there's no fighters here. So let's take advantage of that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to send the B-24 deep against that Stuttgart Railroad. And then the 2 B-17s are going to go here for this railroad, and here for this one. And then we're going to have 1 fighter escort for the first one, and 1, well, yeah, and 1 for the other one, like so. Okay? All right, so, I jumped a little ahead of myself. I forgot to do the RAF attack. Let's see if they get another hit in. This is what we want. No, they don't. Okay, so when there's no fighter, it's literally just go up and deal with the anti-aircraft phase, and that's it. Now, if we were doing multiple missions on this track when there's no fighters, what it says to do is you combine all your missions together as if it was just one mission, and then you combine all the anti-aircraft together from every zone that you're going after as if it was just one mission, and you just do it all as one dice roll. Which, if you sit down and look at the tables and do the math, it'll actually work out in your favor if you do that. So there is some advantage whenever there's a track that's clear to do multiple missions, but there's literally only 1 mission available in this track. So not much we could do about that. This track actually looks really juicy right here because there's only 2, but we have to take care of our basic business first. So The anti-aircraft is 6. The target is 1, so it's a 7, which is its own column. So we still don't want to roll bad, and we did roll bad. So for this 7, a 5 means 2 units are damaged. So that's awful. But we did roll a 1 green, so the 2 units are just damaged. They're not destroyed. And we can refit those. So that's the part that's good. But we can't have too many damage units because next month we're going to get to refit 3, and we already have 2 of the 3 filled up. So got to be careful there. And just so you know, when you do the manufacturing that lets you grab from the Deadpool, well, never mind. I just ignored that part. I'm taking more caffeine so I don't make a mental mistake like that again. All right, so we did succeed. I didn't bother grabbing the railroad way back there at the other end of the table, but we do put a damage marker on, and now I got to reach up there. So there we go. I love my table, and I love how long it is, but and it's funny because I don't know. It's a big reach to get up there. Okay, so this comes back, and now we come over to here, and we're going to see if they intercept. They do. This is an all intercept. If you roll a 6, they're all coming in. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on their roll. And the 2 is what we want to see, and that's a miss for them. All right, and then we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on our roll. So let's get a high red. 4 is probably not bad. And for a 9, a 4 is we're going to hit 1. And the 3 says we damage it. So that's not super good. But the thing is by damaging this guy, it does take 2 points away from their anti-air against our bombers. So that part is good. So now the bomber is going to come in. And the zone here has an anti-air of 4. This is 1 for 5. And then this is 6, 7, 8. So they're doing an 8 roll against us. And the 4 is not good. That means they hit us. And then the 3 means we're damaged. So we just hit our limit for the repair for the bombers. And then our bombers can fight back. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6. This 2 is probably not going to cut it. Nope, it means we missed. And then we do damage the railroad. So we get a 6 for the railroad, and everybody comes home. And now we go to the last one over here. Scramble roll is a 3. So half of them are going to come in, which is, it's going to be the strongest one, which is actually the school is considered the stronger one. So the school is considered like a 1+, if you will. So even though they're both a 1, that's a 1+. So that's how you need to look at it. All right, and we are doing Brest, the local sub, the one on the shore. So for the air combat, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got a 2. And that's a miss. Okay, so for the P-47, we have a 5, 7, 9, 11. So even at 11, that 3 is we hit 2 of them. And then that 4 means it's 1 and 1. So 1 is damaged, 1 is destroyed. So we'll put the damage in a cup or in the penalty box, and then the destroy goes back in the dead pool. And they're down to 1 plane. So now we're over the target. It's an anti-aircraft of 1. The target is 1 more for 2. And then this is 1 more for 3. So a 3 against a combat value of 3, that's a miss. So our bombers don't get hit. We got really lucky. So we're going to be able to repair everything. And then we actually get to fight back. So we have 3, we're at a 6. And that 6 is deadly. We just damaged 2 of them. And it's just the damage because the 1, it's not going to destroy anything. And there isn't 2 of them, so we just damage them. That's all we do. And so the fighter is actually completely removed from that spot. And yes, we hit the target. And it's another 6. And everybody flies home. Okay, so now we do the combat, or the campaign tracks. So this is left 1, right 1. This is left 1, 2, 3, right 1, 2, 3. So basically nothing moved. So we're fine there. And then we do the victory points, which we have no named groups damaged or destroyed. We have 1 damage in Berlin. So now we're just adding up this part, which I think we already said was 18, because nothing changed over here. So we're just doing the heavies. So 18 is still a big score for them. They're rattling along here. So I'm going to give them 20 and then move this down 2. So they are currently at 76 points out of the 140 that they need to win. Okay. So end of round. Oh, no. I always forget this part. We got to repair. Okay, double 2s is perfect because they don't get to repair twice, right? You know, so that's what you want to see. Now the problem is we actually have a 2 out there, but doubles are nice. And there's only 1 2 on the board, and it's this one that we just damaged. So we'll take that back. And okay. Sorry, I had some token malfunction over here. Next. Now we go to the next round. So first thing we do is we move the anti-air. Ooh, a 6/6 means the anti-air goes to the submarines track. But the good news is we don't need to actually go after a submarine this round, so we could ignore that other submarine. Now, why would you want to bomb both of them? Given the new rules, the way I understand them now, the reason you want to bomb both is in case they repair one, then you're not in trouble, right? Because if they ever repair them and I don't ever get to damage because I have some other higher priority, they're going to move 2 towards, losing the game. So if you bomb both of them, then you're going to be able to move left and stay as far left on the track as possible. And then when a situation like this happens, you can ignore it for a round and it doesn't hurt you. So that's all. It's basically a cushion. But now we move to the calendar part, because we move the AA. We do our core check. There's no core check issue. The core has plenty of units, and there's no other area that has more units, 2 more units than them. So we ignore the core rule, which, by the way, hasn't triggered the whole game, and it won't for a little bit. And then we go over to here. So we have to manage the calendar. So let me slide this up a little. That might help. The April is now moving to May. This still says SURR. So there's no new campaigns. Here you can see that the river crossings are coming. That's what the RX stands for. So there's going to be 3 bridges that are going to get added, but that's next month. This month is the first month where we have a 1-3 for our refit and manufacture. The Luftwaffe makes 2 BF-109s. So that's these. So we got 2 of them coming out. And they, of course, come with their own squadrons. And those are over here. So those will get rolled and we'll figure out where their home is going to be. And you can see that the U.S. Air Force gets a B-17 and a B-26. So that's good news for the home front. So we get another B-17 with its own squadron. And then these B-26s are crap. They only have a strength of 1, and they don't have the H on them, so you can't go after heavy targets with them. But they are perfect for going after things like the submarine or the... they can still go deep, so like we can go after that railroad that just got repaired. So these are perfect for going after the campaign targets. All right, so that's our reinforcements. For them, this first one, we don't even have to roll. There's an empty spot here. So it goes into the empty spot. And then for the other one, we roll. And we got a 1-5, which is going to go into lane 1. So lane 1's getting a bit stronger. Okay, so I'm just thinking a bit here. All right, so then we do our refit and repair. We forgot to do their refit and repair at the end of their round. They had this one refit. Oh man, I just feel so bad. At the end of their round, we were supposed to do this. So that would have been refit for them. So this guy, along with at least one of these, would have gone into this zone here. And then this one actually would have also gone here. So then we're actually gonna roll, see where this goes. So 4-2 is lane 4. So this guy is going actually here. And before this one would have gotten a second, well, no. Yeah, we're good. So that's how that would have played out. And then also that means that we missed the they would have made 3 new squadrons. So we got to put these out. I somehow skipped the German refit and repair. So my apologies. So these 2 4s wouldn't exist yet because they came in this turn. So we would have put this one here to make it 2. And everybody has 2 now. So then this would go to 3 and 3. And just remember, these 2 don't exist yet. That's why we're ignoring them right now. Okay, now we move to this turn. These 2 would have spawned, and that's where they went. And we got our reinforcements, but now we get to do our refit and repair. And so the refit gives us the 3 bombers that we needed. And then for the manufacturing part, we get to make 3 this time instead of 2. And then we get to make 1 fighter. All right, so the P-47s, this one has 3. So we're going to put the fighter squadron on him. And then we're going to give 2 to the B-26, 2 to the B-17, 2 to the B-24, and we're going to take 1 from the B-26 and give it to him. I think that's how we want it to look. I may want to take this one away. I need to think about that. The B-26 probably needs the hit points. It's really just to absorb getting hit. Okay, and we can move this around as we play. You're not really committed until you actually assign them to a mission. Caffeine check there. Okay, so now we get to the RAF attack part. Yeah, let me just make sure. We did the calendar reinforcements. We did the refit and manufacturing. We looked at the bombing campaigns. Nothing changed. Yeah, let's do the Royal Air Force. So come on, Brits, do something here. That was not something. So nothing happens there. And now we get to, and by the way, the Germans are fully deployed. So there's no reinforcements left for the Germans from the Deadpool. Look at that, I got that for 10 cents. There's no more manufacturing to be done. So the heavy aircraft factories aren't as important, but if we continue to destroy them though, and then we eventually destroy their airplane squadrons, it really will stay destroyed for good, is the idea at least. So they're fully squadroned out. All right, moving into the, what do we need to do? Well, we don't need to go after that sub base. We probably need to, we have to at least get one railroad in order to prevent the railroad track from moving even worse. And then I think I'm looking here and I still see some juiciness, although this is a big battle. There's a lot of points here. And if I did do it, I would be committing all my P47s to the battle, like so. But what would I go after? Would I go after a railroad, or would I try to go after one of their heavy targets? The railroad, of course, would help with the railroad campaign, but there's a part of me that's like, you know what, we need to go after their heavy targets. So I think we're going to go after the Karlsruhe aircraft manufacturer. I mean, I could go after the oil field, because remember I said that the oil is, yeah, let's do that. We're going to go after the Dolman oil. So this is the target. And I'm going to have two B-17s go after that one. So it's a pretty hefty bombing group. Now over here in lane 5, we have that railroad way in the back, and we're going to go after that one with the B-26s. And I am a little concerned because the anti-air is a 6. They're going to be rolling on the 7 chart with that one. And with the 7 chart, there is going to be 1 damaged for sure. And because they're going deep, these guys are almost a guarantee to join in. That's my concern with that particular railroad. So what I can do then is maybe we ignore that for now, and we come here and go after, I'm going to go after that railroad, the Frankfurt one. And this B-24 group is, sorry. Okay, the dog excitement is abated. So here's what my plans are. We're just going to overload this particular zone and hit as much as we can. So I'm going to hit Frankfurt with this one last, but we have this group, and I'm going to hit Cologne, so we're going to get 2 of the railroads. And then we still have another one here, a B-17 group. And I'm going to go after Karlsruhe with that group. So that's how this is going to shake out. And we might take a lot of damage doing this. This is a tough game. I definitely give the kudos to the challenge of this game. But let's try it. I mean, let's see if we can break through a core area and really do some damage. If I get these 2, that's going to basically take 4 points off of them. It's always 2 points, right? Because we score a point when we hit them, and then they only score a point if it's not hit. So we're going to take 2 points away from their score at the end of the round, and then it negates 2 more of their points. So every one of these we hit is like removing 2 points from their end of round scoring. And then this is going to help us to have an edge on the railroads, and we'll finally start moving the railroads to the left. Okay, I'm a little nervous about it, but let's try it. So we're going to do Dolman first, and Dolman is the oil factory, and I rolled a 6. So what was I rolling for? I was rolling for the interception, which is what I wanted. I wanted them to get all in. So we got a huge air battle going on. All of our air squadrons are ready for them, and then I even have a large B-17 group to hit them some more whenever the actual bombing occurs. Because you can see here, I don't have as many. And so these guys get to intercept every single mission. But whoever we destroy now won't be available for these next missions. That's the idea of staggering all these missions in one zone. So first thing that happens is the air combat. So here you can see it's 2, 4, 5 for this stack. And then 2, 4, and 6 is 10. So that's 15. They're rolling on the 15 column, which is, if I get a 6 on this, that's very devastating for us. And I got a 2, which this could not have come at a better time. And let me zoom out a little for you. So I rolled a 2. That could not have come at a better time. So let's look at the chart. And we said that they had a 15, right? So the 15 didn't quite get here, but it's a 13. And a 2 is just 2 damage on us. All right? And then the green 5 is not good, because with 2 damage, it means it's 1 destroyed, 1 damaged. And that's going to be for our fighters. So we're going to basically lose 2 squadrons, 1 to the penalty box, and 1 back into the dead pool. So we'll have to remanufacture that. Okay. Now, for us, we get to punch back now. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in this stack. Those ones that just got hit, they get to count. And then we have 11 in this one as well. So we have 22. And so we're going to roll, and we need a big red number. Big red number. 4 is better than a 1 or 2 or 3. So let's see. And look at this. 22 is its own fresh new column. And a 4 is going to damage 4 of them. That's what we like to see. Now the green 2 stinks, but for the green 2, it means we damaged 3 into the penalty box and we destroyed 1. So how does this work? It's the squadrons always get hit first. And so basically 3 of them are damaged and 1 goes into the penalty box. Or 1, it gets destroyed. So 3 goes to the penalty box. This 1 is destroyed. And so all we have left are their 2 groups. Okay, so now we're over the target, and Dolman has an anti-air of 5, and then the target adds 3 more for 8. But this makes it 14, this is 15. So they get a 15 roll against our bombers, and that 4 is not going to be good. A 15 roll at 4 is they hit 2 of our bombers, but the green 2 is going to be home sailing, because it means that those squadrons are going to be in the penalty box, so we can get them back. So that part's good. All right, so we get to punch back against these guys. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we get an 11 roll against them. The 1 is awful. We hit 1, but it's destroyed. So we destroy this BF-110. It's always the weaker one first. Now, here's the thing. When this is destroyed, it goes into what's called the dead box, which is what misled me. So this can be resurrected. You know, unlike those ones over there, those don't exist yet. But this one does. So it's sort of like a different dead box. It's a really bizarre game, the way the rules are written, but that's how that works. So they can get it back as long as they have these, and they do. And what's unfortunate is one of them survived. All right, so the bombers survived, so we do hit the target. Dolman is going down, so it goes down with a 1. And our fighter units are coming back pretty damaged. Our bomber units survived a little better. And yes, there is 1 fighter still left to wreak havoc, and it's a good one. The FW-190. So now we have Karlsruhe, and we're going to roll to see if they intercept. The 5 is yes, so he's coming out. And so when we get to Karlsruhe, it's a 5 plus 3 is 8, and this makes it a 14. So now they do a 14 roll against us, and the 2 and a 2 is pretty good, but it's still 2 damaged for us. So they do hit 2 of our bombers with that. So that hurts. And we now have more damaged bombers than we're going to be able to repair. But here's the good news. Those will stay there, and we'll get them in future rounds if we need to. But we had a 3, 4, and then 5, 6 to fight back. And that 2 is not going to cut it. We actually hit nothing. Dang it. So this guy survived again. So he's just going to keep damaging us over and over and over. That's the part that... that wasn't the plan, folks. So Karlsruhe is damaged, and we go back. So now the B-24 is going to have the same exact problem, except he's not intercepting the B-24. So we're going to go to Cologne, and the anti-air is 6. So with a 6, we did 1 damaged. So we're getting way more damage than we can actually repair this round, but that's okay. And we do destroy the train yard. And these come home, and now we're going to roll. This is a deep target, so only a 1 is going to avoid, and we rolled a 1. So this FW-190 never comes out, and so we're in the deep target, which is a 7, and then this is 1 more for 8, so it's an 8 anti-air. The 3 is probably going to hit us. It does, and the 4 is a damage, so 1 unit got damaged. But we hit that target as well. So we took a bit of a beating here, and we definitely gave them a beating as well. But the issue is we can't do that every round. We're gonna have to like spend a few rounds to recover now. And what's interesting is like they didn't have that many planes, and you could see how just those few number of planes wreak so much havoc on us. All right, so now we do the campaign part. So this goes left and then right. This one is now gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, and then 2 to the right, because we have 4 damaged railroads. That's it for that. And then we do scoring. We have no named groups destroyed. Berlin is still damaged. So now it's just a count of the heavies. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 heavies damaged. So that's 4 points for the good guys. So that means we negate 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this whole track is negated. So now we're only adding for this track here. So we get 1, skip the railroad, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points. So we dropped them. They were getting 20, 20, 20, and then 18, and now 13. So this moves up to 89. And now we got to do the German refit. So the Germans, the oil fields, there's still 5 of them left, so they're going to repair 5. So these 3 are going to be repaired. And as far as the aircraft factories are concerned, we've damaged 3 of them, but they still have 3 up. So they're going to repair this one for 1, and then this is 2, and that's all the components they have in the game. So everything's coming back. So what do we do? Well, this one is going to get placed. Oops. So 5-1 is lane 6. And then these get placed based on priority. So this one has 0, so he's going to get 1. This also has 0 over here in lane 6, so he gets 1. And then we now add a second one to units. So since he's a 6, he gets the second one. And then we have a 4 over here in lane 1. He gets the second one. So that's sort of how that plays out. So even though this one reinforced, it's still the weakest of the core tracks, which is good. And now we got to see what kind of repairs the Germans are going to do. And I rolled 2 2s again, and that was wonderful. To get that twice in a row. And we do actually have 1 2 that came back. It was this one. So that does repair, but that was a wonderful, wonderful roll. Everything else stays damaged. Okay, so we go on to the next round. Roll for the anti-air. Again, we rolled a 6, so the anti-air stays over there where the submarines are. And it doesn't matter what the red number is. The next step is, the core check. All right, so this one only has 1 group, but there's nowhere else that has 3 groups. So We don't do the core check yet, although that would have occurred. And then over here, we're going to move the calendar again. So now we move to June. And so the first thing that we see there is that a new bombing campaign for the river crossings. There's 3 of those. And I happen to have those right here. And the river crossings are in pretty mild areas. So here you can see the Loire River is up there, and then the upper Seine and the lower Seine. So these 3 areas were now added. So that makes lane 6 and 7 a little bit more attractive as far as bombing targets. And remember I said we need to sort of breathe and recover. This is like the perfect time to go after targets like that. Okay, so we are still at 1 and 3 manufacturing for us. For June, Luftwaffe gets 2 Bf-109s. So 2 new ones are coming out. They would come with a squadron, but there's none left. And then the U.S. Air Force comes with a B-17. And the B-17 comes out with its own squadron. And we do have plenty of those, so that gets added to our pool over here. So let's take care of deploying them. We're going to roll. I got a 5-6, so that is lane 6 is going to get one. And then a 3-3 is lane 3. And lane 6 has all of a sudden gotten pretty strong, and we actually have targets there we would like to go after, but that's interesting. We may want to, and the fact that lane 3 got a reinforcement was unfortunate because this was definitely a green light for us, but we'll figure it out. So that's the situation and how it looks. So we have to do our reinforcements and repairs. So like I said, we have a 1 and a 3. So we do the reinforcements first. The 1 is for the fighter. So we are going to get this fighter squadron back. And we're going to get 3 of these back. And you can see there's still 3 more that are waiting to be repaired. And then we get to manufacture 1 and manufacture 3 new ones. So the bomber squadrons are definitely adding up. So we get the P-47 here. And gonna beef up our bombers. Like so. I'm, for the most part, trying to make them even. The B-17s I'm willing to let have less than these 2, because these guys have to go alone, whereas these ones that have less, I can just match them up with one that has more, and then they can go together. So that's the idea. We really do now have enough bombers to really start going after a lot of targets. The problem is we don't have the fighter escorts to go after a lot of targets. So you have to be really careful because, as you saw, we damaged more bombers than we actually could repair. And that's the situation you're going to find yourself in if you keep doing something like that. Going after these other targets is good because, as you saw, we took 2 of them down. We actually subtracted 4 points from them, and that stopped the bleeding a bit. But and it's necessary, but we got to, we have to balance how badly do we want to stop the bleeding versus how badly should we, cripple our air forces. And I don't have a good answer for that, but that's the basic gist. Okay, the Royal Air Force needs to really start stepping up because they've been really big slackers here. And there we go. We have 2, which is another crap roll. And what's funny is in the last playthrough, the Royal Air Force, we did really well. We actually hit like 3 targets with this. And that does make a difference, folks. And because you can get those really deep ones without having to go there with your own planes. Okay, so what do we want to do? Obviously, with the river crossings, we want to take out 1 or 2 of those. It's not going to be super bad, but the air escorts over here are getting pretty intense. So I would like to, keep beating up Group 3 here, but it's going to be hard. And like I said, we need to regroup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the P-47s here, and we're going to go after this interior target, which will increase the chances that these guys are going to intercept. And then we're going to do that with a big B-17 group. And then this smaller B-17 group will join. And then we'll have another smaller B-17 group go after the lower sign. The V-24 group is going to go here after that railroad, and that's going to be a bloody one. That's like a very difficult mission. The this B-17 group with only 2 is going to go after the Loire. This is also going to be a very difficult mission. In fact, I'm not even sure we should do that mission. You know what? We're not going to do that mission. That's a bloodbath. So I'm going to merge them here for this mission. And then the B-26s, we could try to go after the Brest or the Saint Nazaire. These B-26s are a tough one to pick. Like, where do we want to send them? And I think, if we try to send them after a coastal target, there's a good chance that we won't get, slaughtered. The problem is the coastal target here is destroyed. There are 2 coastal targets here, but look at all those planes. So unless I roll well, I'm going to get blasted by those planes. And that's the risk you take, right? I do have 3 squadrons. I mean, I could just leave the B-26s at home. You know what? I'm going to send the B-26s here after the Loire. We'll go all in on that one. All right, so let's do. Now I moved the camera this way because it allows me to roll dice and stuff, which I know isn't letting you see what's going on here. So let me bring this here so you can see the situation. We're doing a heavy assault against track 6. This one is a wing and a prayer, and so is that one. So let's do the wing and prayer ones first. We'll start with number 7. And I'm going to roll to see if those guys intervene. On a 2, against a coastal target, they don't intervene. But this is not a coastal target. It's an interior one. And on a 2, against interior targets, half of them intervene, but there's only 1 unit. So half means all in this situation. And it is what it is. I mean, we knew that was going to happen. You had to roll 1 to avoid it. So the target itself is a 3. I'm sorry, the zone is a 3. The target itself is a 1. So that's 4 between those 2. And then this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got 9 total anti-air. And 10 was the magic number. So we're going to be basically rolling against the 7 column. And as long as this number is low, we usually do okay. But so it is a hit for 1. And then because this number is high, it's going to be bad because a 5 is a destroy. So one of our units got destroyed, which is worse than, you know, being damaged. But the good news is it was only 1. And we do get to punch back. We have 1, 2, 3. We only have a 4. So we need to roll really high on the red. And we did. We rolled a 5. And that actually destroys one of theirs. So one of their squadrons gets destroyed. They're just going to make it at the end of the round. But we lose 1 unit, and we do damage this target. And it is here. So the first river crossing is down. Okay, so now we move. These guys get to go wee all the way home. And then now we move to this one. And this, unless I roll a 1, they're intercepting. And they're intercepting. So this one is a deep target, so we're going to be in a little worse situation. The zone is a 6. The target itself is a 1, so that's a 7. This is an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're rolling against the 12 column against us. And this is awful. That's a little bit better, but against the 12 column, that means 2 of our units got damaged. And then this prevents them from being destroyed. But we do lose 2. And 3, 4. We have a 6 for our rollback against them. So let's roll back against them. And that hits 1, and this means it's destroyed. So we do destroy 1 of theirs. They'll make that by the end of the round. And we did damage the target. And it's a 5. I think one of the things I don't like about this game is when they do their repairs, I mean, they just magically repair based on the number they roll. I mean, that's brutal. I know that he seeded this to have a certain number of each number. So, I mean, it's working out, you know, based on just how you draw, and there's a lot of luck into this game. So some people may not like that, how there's so much luck, but it is what it is. Okay, so now we're going to go against an interior target here. I don't want to roll a 1 in this situation, and of course I do. And that's brutal because I can't do a fighter sweep unless it's a heavy target. And I have all my fighters assigned to this mission. So we're going to go up and do the upper CN, and they have a 5 anti-air. And they roll a 1, which is a complete miss. So that part's good. And we just obliterated that target. So he gets a 1 and goes back. And then all these come back completely unharmed. And this is the part that hurts. So now I have this lower CN with 2 bombing groups, and their entire air force is fresh. I was hoping to damage them a bit. But the good news is it's coastal. So a 1 or a 2 means we don't face anybody at all. And even with a 3 or a 4, it's only half. So let's see what we get. And we rolled a 1. So we actually avoided their air force completely. And now I'm very happy. Their anti-air is only a 3. And we rolled a 1. So we're rolling fantastic right now to make up for those Royal Air Force rolls that are royally blows. And then we just took out all 3 of those targets. And we come home pretty much. We got some damage, yes. But that was, for given everything that we were up against, I think we came out pretty well. So now that we're done, we always assess the bombing campaigns first. So we come over to here, and we have 1-1 with the sub. Remember, we never took out the other sub. With the railroads, though, there's only 1 railroad left. So it goes there, but then it doesn't go any further, and then it comes back over 1. Like, you can't, once you hit the wall, it doesn't matter that I have 5 railroads out of 6 destroyed. It always moves back to the right 1. So that's where that is. And then the, oops, sorry about that. And then this river crossing, we destroyed all 3 bridges, so it's going to sit here on the far left. Okay, so that's the situation with the bombing campaigns. I think we're looking pretty good all across the board there. Next is the victory points. They didn't destroy any of our groups or damage them. Berlin is still damaged, so now it's just the heavy point thing. And they did repair some, so I think we have to figure this out again. I think they're going to get 2 more points. So you can see here we have 1, 2, 2, 3 of their heavies are damaged. So we're going to cancel 1, 2, 3, and yeah, they're going to get 2 extra points. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, don't count this one, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I know it looked like I counted this, but I just didn't count something else. So 15 points for them. Why is that not 2 extra? I guess they only scored 13 last time. So 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're sitting at 104 points. And remember, they get to 140, we lose. So that's pretty brutal. And now we got to do their refit and repair. They had nothing damaged, so there's no refit to do. And they do have some destroyed units, so they're going to bring these out. And they just get reallocated. So, for example, this 4 has nothing, so it'll get 1. And then this 4 over here has nothing, so he gets 1. And that's it. All right. That brings us, now we got to see what they repair, which is always the scariest part. They're going to repair 1s and 6s, which I think is going to be bad. So the 6 is going to repair the sub base. And here a 1 and a 6 is going to repair both of these bridges. And then a 1 is going to repair this oil field and this railroad. And that's it. So, but 4 things got repaired. That was pretty bad. But that's the thing. Once you start clearing the map, this is sort of like the equalizer that basically unclears the map rapidly. Okay, you take it for what it is. So the actually, it's not the 2 bridges. That's a railroad that got repaired. So they repaired 2 of the railroads, 1 of the bridges, and a sub, and then an oil field, which that's really more of a points thing. And we move to the next round. So am I ignoring the heavy industries too much? I could be. Like I'm going after the campaigns and ignoring the heavy industries, and I'm just allowing them to continually score points. The answer is sort of. I mean, I'm trying to just survive until I can get more forces so I can make a concerted, effort. But this is challenging. I definitely give it that. So we move to the beginning of the next round, and let's roll for their anti-air. Their anti-air is going to move to 2-2, which is lane 1. So this is going to come down here to lane 1. All right, so that's sort of where we want it, because we're ignoring lane 1 right now. We don't care about lane 1. Next, we look at the chart. So, and remember, I always do some of this out of turn order because I don't think it matters. And it's just a matter of as it appears, we want to just do what it says. So we're going to go to July here, and you can see there's no change to the campaigns. We're going to be manufacturing 1 and 3 again. Okay, and then the Luftwaffe, we're going to get 2 Bf-109s. So that's there here. And we get a B-17. So I'm going to bring this back, zoom it back out, and get our B-17, which comes with his own squadron. And we still have plenty of those left. So he comes with a squadron, and then basically they have 2 units that are going to come out with no squadrons attached. And so the first one goes on 5-3, which is lane 6. So lane 6 is just building up big, holy buckets. And then the next one is going on 6-5, which is the sub area. Okay. So now this part is where turn order matters. After we move the anti-aircraft, we would do the core check, which, by the way, there was nothing to worry about because there's 2 here, right? This one had 3, and you need to have 2 more. But let's say we did the core check right now. This would actually trigger the core check because we have 4 there and only 2 here. So what would happen in that case is here, wherever there's the most, we would take the strongest unit, which is this one, and it would move to the weakest core zone, which is this one. So it would move like that if that check were to occur now. But we already passed that part of the turn. So it's going to stay like this for 1 more round, at least. Now, if I come in here and destroy these, because we're going after those 2 targets that just got repaired, that could change things. So that's some of what we have to, negotiate here. Okay, so next is our refit and repair. So the refit and repair, as you recall, is a 1-3. And for us, we have 1, 2, 3 bombers that we're going to refit. There's still 2 more damaged bombers we can't do anything about yet. And there were no damaged fighters. So now we're going to manufacture 1 fighter, and then we get to manufacture 3 bombers. And we are getting close to using up all of our bombing tokens, but there's still 4 of them in here. Now, if all of these were gone, then we would go and the manufacturing would repair these. So even though this is piling up and we're damaging more than we can repair, eventually when this becomes empty, we're going to be repairing instead of manufacturing. So we are getting close to having all of our tokens out, which that part is pretty cool. So the B-17, I'm going to do 1, another one here. Basically the B-26 and the B-24, we need to have at least 3 units underneath them because they go on missions alone, typically. The B-17s, we can, as long as they have 2, we can put them together with the ones that have 3 because the ones that have those, basically you're going to have 5 and they're going to bundle together like Comcast. So we'll just give another one here. And then for the P-47s, I mean, you only have 2, so you're basically just stacking them up, and they're going to be pretty strong. All right, so I think we got through all of that. We did the calendar, refit, everything. So now it's the Royal Air Force. Come on, you chaps. I think I used that term correctly. I rolled a 2. Come on. There it is. Why didn't you do that? Okay. The chaps are still eating fish and chips and letting us fight the war for them. Boy, this is thematic. No, just kidding. Okay. Let's figure out what we're going to do. All right, so from a mission perspective, lane 5, there's not a single target there for us to get. Lane 6 has 2 targets that opened up for us, but as you can see, they have a pretty strong showing of forces. Lane 7 has no targets for us at all. And then lane 8 has, I know these are up against this, but lane 8 has a decent showing, smattering of planes. And then we have both of the sub-targets available. So the issue with lane 8 is we probably need to at least get one of those sub-targets out. So what I'm looking at is I'm still seeing some juiciness right here in lane 3. So I'm going to put the P47s in one stack, and then a 3-spotter of B17s plus a 2. So we're going to go pretty strong, and we're going to do an interior target because that's all their range is. And we're going to try to lure out those fighters and destroy some. And the target we're going to go after is the oil. So we're going to go after Dolman. And I think we're going to try to do like what we did before. Let's just try to really just hit this area hard. I'm not going to worry about the submarines or anything else at this point. Let's just try to take points. We do have a railroad here, and so these B-26s are going to go after the Cologne Railroad, and that'll be one of the last things we do. This B-24 group is going to go after the Karlsruhe. So we got these, and I'm just moving them down because we're going to do those last. Then we have a very strong B-17 group of 3, and then 2. And those 2 are going to go after Mannheim, which is deep, and then we're going to go after Friedrichshafen with this group right here. So we're going to make lane 3 regret that it existed. So what's the name of the city that they did the fire, that turned into a fireplace and just completely got torched? That was actually quite a tragedy. You know, the victors always get to call themselves the heroes. And that's one of those moments where I think the Allies went a bit too far. And but here's the thing. When you declare war, people go too far. It's just what happens. But anyways, I don't need to get political. But it's the consequence of it. And that doesn't mean that it wasn't, that you can't sit there and say what was right or what was wrong, because it was wrong. And but anyways, those poor people. I'm going to commit to that. The submarine thing is a little bit of an issue. I wanted to maybe move one group over there, but I actually like the idea of just slamming this right now while we still can. Okay, so with that being said, let's grab... So we're going to roll for interception. I don't want them to roll 1. Let's go. There we go. We rolled a 3. And when it's an interior target at 3, only half of them come out. So that's the problem. But that actually might help us a bit, because half means the strongest one. So it'll be this one. So 6, 7, 8, 9. He's going to roll a 10 against us. And we rolled a 2, 2. And at a 10, that means we're going to take 1 damage. So the P-47 will have 1 squadron that's damaged. Goes in the penalty box. And then we have 5, 10, 12, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 in this one. And then there's 13 in this one. So that's 22, 23, 24. So we're doing a 24 roll. That's the same as the 22 roll. And we got a 4, 6. The 6 is good. That means it gets destroyed. But the 4 on a 22 roll is we damaged 4 of them. So all 3 of these are out. So they all got destroyed. And then this one I'll just put in a separate kill pile. So we wiped it out completely. So it's not going to participate against our bombers. That part's good. So then for the actual bombing itself, this is going to be an 8, a 5 for the zone, 3 for the target. And I need to move where I'm rolling. So with an 8 and a roll of a 2, 4, 1 bomber got damaged. But we did get the target. So Dolman is going down. with the sickness. And everybody else comes back. Okay, so this next one is Mannheim, which is a deep target. So only a 1 is going to prevent the planes from coming, and it's a 1. I did not necessarily want that. These guys were more equipped to taking out those planes than anybody else that's coming next. So we're actually in a little bit of trouble here. But the anti-air for this one is 10. And at a 2-4, that's a damage. So we're going to lose 1 squadron to damage, not destroyed. And we survive this mission. And Mannheim is damaged. And it gets a 2. And it's almost like you don't even know what number to root for, right? Do I want a 2? Do I want a 3? I mean, it doesn't matter because whatever you roll is pure luck. Okay, so the next one is Frederikshavn, which again, only a 1 is going to prevent those planes from coming out. This time it's a 6, and I'm worried because these guys are now adding to the anti-air value of 10. So this is 14, 15, 16. So they're rolling a 16 against us, and this is bad. And a 16-4 means 3 units are hit, but this helps us because with 3 units being hit, 2 are damaged, 1's destroyed. So 2 damaged, 1 destroyed. We do have 1 bomber left, which is good because that 1 bomber left means we are going to destroy the target. And so Frederikshavn is going down with the sickness, and that's good. Now, as you know, 2 got destroyed, 1 damaged, so there was 3 points there, and this is 3, so we're rolling a 6. We do get to hit back. And we got a 3-2, which is a complete miss. So those planes are going to come back again and again. Dang it. All right, so this guy comes back, and now we're going to do Karlsruhe, which is an interior target. And the planes are coming out against that. The anti-aircraft is 8. And then this is 12, 13, 14. And so we have a 3-3. And against the 14, that's 2. And it's a 1-1. So 1's destroyed and 1's damaged. And we do get the target. And we had 3, 4, 5, 6 against them. This 2 is hurting us so badly. They survive again. So we go back, and now we're going against the final target. I need a 1, and I got it. So these planes finally don't join, and then now we just have an 8 for their AA roll here. And that's perfect for an 8. That's a 0 damage. And our B-26s did their job, and Cologne is down too. So we took a lot of damage, but you can see 3 is pretty devastated all the way up the board now. All right, so we finish. We look at the campaign. The submarines are going to go up 2. The railroads they're going to go all the way to the left, and then they're going to go up 2. And then the river crossings are, again, all the way to the left and then up 1. So that's the situation there. The submarines, we have to destroy a submarine next round or we lose the game. Next is the scoring. Berlin's still damaged. We don't have any name groups. So it's just heavy targets here. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 in Berlin, 6 damaged heavy targets. So that's going to cancel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're scoring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. So I'm going to move them up 10 and down 1. So they are currently at 113 points. Now they repair. They have, how many airfields or air factories do they have? They have 2 air factories still up. So the top priority for their air factories is to repair this. Okay, so that's going to come back, and then they're going to make one of these, and believe it or not, there's still one that they couldn't make. So we actually did damage them enough that they're not able to reproduce what we destroyed, but as soon as a new unit comes in, it comes in with that. So so how do we do this? Well, of course, the 6 we're going to roll, and I rolled a 3-1, which is lane 2 gets this, and then this just goes in lane 2 underneath the 6 because he needs to be reinforced. So just to get a little closer for you there. So lane 3 is very weak. All right, so we end the round. Oh, no. They get to repair. So it's 6 and 5s that repair. So let's look at our situation. We got a 5 here for the railroad, a 6 for the factory, 5 for that factory, and then Berlin repairs. So that hurts. So they repaired 2 of their aircraft factories. So now we would go to a new round, and I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, and we'll see you. Thanks for watching, and stay awesome.